Leaving time: August 30, 2016. I wrote this in July when we were on the 101 highway going to Northern California. The traffic was practically stopped, and I could feel the aura of all the fires that were burning in that area of the state. I remember that I asked the Arcturians about the upcoming presidential votes, and wrote down their answer on the only paper I could find. I have not released it till now. Well, you will know why when you read it. Dear Suziel, as you know, the United States has always been a corporation and had never been a democracy. Before the people of the United States can change that situation, they will need to know about it. But many of them do not want to know. They will stay in the 3D matrix, which will gradually self-destruct. The third dimension is actually a booster rocket for Gaia's ascension. With every birth there is a death. The amniotic sac is alive while it nurtures the fetus, but dies so that the infant can live. Just as some mother spiders give themselves over as food so their many baby spiders can survive. Some members of the United States feel the need to eat their motherland so that they can survive. But they will not be allowed to eat the planet. These people that the darkness has created can only destroy the matrix. The matrix is like the spider web, which the dark ones perceive as their home. If a spider web were destroyed before the baby spiders were mature, these baby spiders would die. In the same manner, if the matrix were destroyed, the unawakened ones would not have an illusion of a reality in which they could learn about Earth's cause and effect, and energy out as energy back operating system. These unawakened ones think they are on the planet, but they are actually on the matrix, which is the scaffolding for Earth. When Gaia is fully matured into fifth-dimensional New Earth, the scaffolding will be taken down and the illusion of the third dimension will disappear. Just as a dead person must eventually discover that he or she no longer has a physical body, those that can only perceive the 3D matrix will eventually realize that they no longer have a 3D matrix. Those who have only known life on the matrix will discover they no longer have a third-dimensional Earth on which they can act out their wars, greed, fear, and domination. Because these lost ones could not progress at all during their incarnations/schools on planet Earth, and even went backwards, they will return to Source to be placed within the formless state of preparing for eventually being an individual human. Our experiment to see if a reality, based on separation and individuation, could create evolution into a higher dimensional experience. The experiment has revealed that only a small percentage of those who logged into that reality are able to evolve into a sentient being based on unconditional love. Gaia took on too many laggards. The laggards are those who failed, even after multiple chances, to become a higher dimensional, sentient being, and reconnect to their multidimensional self. Gaia will need to release these lost ones, laggards, if she is to ascend. In other words, just as the baby spiders eat their mother, the laggards will eat/destroy their mother planet. It has been proved that war does not assist evolution enough to make the horrible destruction and hate worthwhile. Therefore, war is not a viable option to assist the release of the lost ones. Just as the baby spiders need to eat their mother to survive, many of these lost ones believe they must eat the planet to survive. These lost ones are not able to realize that if they harm their planet, they simultaneously harm their own self and the future of humanity. They are thinking in an instinctual manner, like the baby spiders, in order to survive at all cost. Just as bees, and other beings, are choosing to leave 3D Earth and not return, so are many humans. The 3D school is closing. Those who have expanded their consciousness into the fifth dimension will continue to deeply commune with Gaia, as well as their galactic family. These volunteers to assist Gaia took third-dimensional bodies to assist physical Earth with her return home. Eventually, the third dimension will become the shaft of the wheat. Just as when the shaft of the wheat falls away, and the life force of the wheat is revealed. Within each of you is your fifth-dimensional light body that your physical form has been surrounding. As your attachment to the physical world is released, the fifth-dimensional light body will slowly, or quickly, replace the physical form. Each fifth-dimensional light body will have the choice to return to the higher dimensions or to populate one of the many fifth-dimension worlds that could not be perceived via their former third-dimensional perceptions. Your physical form was much like a personal starship, which was grounded on Earth. While you were still wearing your higher dimensional form of the here and now, your perceptions were much like multi-dimensional windows through which you could perceive the higher fourth dimension, fifth dimensions, and beyond. However, over the many eons of wearing an Earth vessel, the illusions, polarity, and pain closed the higher dimensional windows, and only the third fourth dimensional windows into reality remained functional. Without the perceptions of the higher worlds, you forgot about them. Then, Gaia became much like a prison planet in which there was mostly pain and suffering with no means of escape. Therefore, higher dimensional beings took third fourth dimensional incarnations in order to tell the truth of hope, God, and redemption. These higher beings in human clothing gathered followers around them, trained them, and then ascended to return to their higher dimensional homes. Unfortunately, without their guru leader, many of the followers fell into forgetfulness and soon returned to their spider nature of eat or be eaten. Fortunately, a few remembered the truth and called home to the higher dimensions for assistance. Now, you are at the crest of the wave. Therefore, you can try to catch the wave and have an exciting ride back to the shores of your higher dimensional self. Or, you can dive under the wave and hope that you can catch the next wave. We want you to know that there is such a thing as the last wave. This last wave is coming soon to your timeline. Will you choose to catch this wave, or will you choose to dive under the wave in hopes that another opportunity will arise? We are here now to warn you that Gaia is choosing to catch that wave of ascension. Some humans found their inner truth and will lovingly assist with Gaia's move into the fifth dimension, but other humans have decided to wait this out and get back to it at a later time. However, that later time will not occur because time is closing. The bus into the fifth dimension is arriving, but it is on its last run into the third dimension. Every person who catches that bus has volunteered to take different components of Gaia's 3D essence with him or her. Then, when that last bus drives away, all of Gaia's third-dimensional essence will be gone, and the third dimension will become a ghost town. Wait, we hear the lost ones say, how much time do we have? Time is an illusion of the third-fourth dimension, we respond. Does that mean we have to leave Earth? We hear them say. No, we say in response, that means that you have to leave time. The 3D-4D matrix is based on time. Thus, reality based on time takes time to change. However, the time to change is now. Right now, the third-fourth time-space paradigm is being replaced with a fifth-dimensional paradigm of here/now. Those still addicted to time can only believe that it will take a great deal of time to change. On the other hand, more and more awakened ones are realizing that time, and thus space, are third-dimensional illusions that are created and acted out by the inhabitants of that reality. Those who are prepared to perceive the new energy patterning of fifth-dimensional reality, which is based on now, are increasingly feeling, hearing, and seeing a higher dimensional format of reality. That reality is calling you now. If you do not act within the now of that call, you fall back into waiting for the time in which you are ready. But, how do I prepare for the now? Ask those still bound by time. There is no time or space in which you can prepare to embrace the now of the fifth dimension. All that you will do to prepare for the now must be done now. If you take the time to wait for the now, think about the now and even preparing for the now, that now will not occur because you will become lost in the time that you took to prepare for the now. You cannot prepare for the fifth dimensional now, as it is not a place that you can visit when you have the time to go there. The fifth dimensional now is a state of consciousness that calibrated your perceptions to a reality that infinitely exists within the now of the one. You are moving into a state of consciousness that is free of all third-fourth dimensional markers of time or space. In order to remember how to exist within that frequency of reality, You will need to release the 3D operating system of time that has bound you to the third, fourth dimensions. How do I release an operating system that I didn't even know I had? We hear you ask. You must remember the you that you were before you became lost in the third, fourth dimension. That you is free of the time-space that limited your perceptions to the third, fourth dimensional time-bound realities. We respond. When you release the illusion, the truth will be revealed. But how can you release an illusion that you always believed was the truth? How can you find the courage to remember that everything you ever experienced in any of your third-dimensional realities was just an illusion? To that question we respond, when you enter the now of your fifth-dimensional self, you will leave time. Then the third-dimensional time-bound act of remembering will be replaced with a fifth-dimensional now of knowing. We invite you to visit that now. You can stay as long as you please, or just take a quick peek into the unknown that you are now remembering. Fortunately, within a timeless reality there is no quick or slow, as there is no time to measure those third-dimensional concepts. Once within the operating system of your fifth-dimensional now, there is no quick. There is no peak, as there is not time to create those measurements of action or perception. Within the flow of the fifth dimension and beyond, you are one with the here in the now. We are the Arcturians. Channeled by Suzanne Lee. SuzanneLeePhD.blogspot.com